Dante, what the heck? I thought Bitcoin always goes up in October. Barring something ridiculous happening today, Bitcoin is going to end October in the red for the first time in 7 years. Why? What the heck is going on? If you go to December 15th of last year, Bitcoin was at 106K. Bitcoin has literally been running fast to nowhere this year. Yeah, I feel you. But go back to October 31st, and Bitcoin was making all-time highs at $69,400 a coin. And go back to October 31st, 16 years before that, and Bitcoin was just an idea that nobody thought would work, an idea that has us sitting in front of this screen right now. A peer-to-peer electronic cash system that would allow online payments to be sent directly from one person to another party without a financial institution in between. This is still a growing idea, an idea whose time has come.
Beneath this mask, there is more than flesh. Beneath this mask, there is an idea, Mr. Creedy. And ideas are bulletproof.
And as we probably end the month of October in the red, remember, Bitcoin is bulletproof and it won't be stopped. And as always, it's my job to remind you. This is Dante Cook with Bitcoin Simply. Let's go.
Skeptical of crypto at one point. You're still skeptical.
I've gotten away with no damage so far. Crypto is real. If you mean blockchain, stable coins, you have a JP Morgan deposit coin, you can move stuff, smart contracts are real, all that stuff is real. It will be used by all of us to facilitate.
When you listen to Jamie Dimon talk, you'll hear him say that crypto is real, blockchain is real, Jamie Dimon coin is real, JP Morgan token is real. But somehow, Bitcoin, the mathematical marvel that actually solved the hardest computer science problem in the world at the time, the Byzantine generals problem, isn't somehow actually real. Yet, it's the one thing that was an abstract idea that was implemented into code that we all now use. And somehow, that's not real. The big idea was this. What is needed is an electronic payment system based on cryptographic proof instead of trust, allowing any two willing parties to transact directly with each other without the need for a trusted third party. Why will Jamie Dimon admit everything is real except Bitcoin? Well, it's because it's the only thing that absolutely removes the financial institutions from the equation. He has a family to feed, he has hundreds of thousands of employees to feed, and it's the single asset class that can kill his enterprise. That's why he says things like this. But I love this explanation from Ricardo Salinas at the Future Investment Initiative, where he says that there's a difference between Bitcoin, stablecoins, and crypto. They're not all the same. There's Bitcoin and then there's everything else.
I think it would be very useful for people here that are not so familiar with the terms to clarify what is this crypto thing. And in my idea, there's Bitcoin, there's stable coins, and then there's all the other tokens. That's crypto. Crypto is all tokens based on a blockchain. So which one are we talking about? When we say consensus on crypto, are we talking Bitcoin as the future of money? Are we talking stablecoin as the future of banking? Or are we talking other tokens as the future of new technology, decentralized open source?
For those of you who are new to the show or new to crypto in general, Bitcoin was the first. It was an actual technical breakthrough. And no other project has been able to achieve consensus, decentralization, or it actually being truly open source in a way that Bitcoin has. They are tokenized securities that are able to be monetized without going through the same rigor that other tokens like publicly traded stocks do in order to monetize. There's only one commodity that allows the world to operate financially without any trusted parties in the middle, and that's Bitcoin. Well, what if you can tokenize gold? Won't that kill Bitcoin? Won't that kill this whole narrative about digital gold and digital finance? That's the question that Tom Lee asked Ricardo Salinas, and here's his answer.
Think about the Bitcoin rationale, why investors buy Bitcoin. I think one of the principal things that draws them here is the idea that Bitcoin is digital gold. It's a store of value in a world that's increasingly digital. What do you all think about the idea of, is Bitcoin going to be attractive if gold itself is available on the blockchain? So that if gold becomes digitized and we can buy it as easily as we can buy Bitcoin, would we still want to own Bitcoin?
The thing about tokenized gold is that you still have the counterparty risk. And you might show up there and there might not be any gold. The thing about Bitcoin is that the token itself, once you have it in your address, That's it. It's final settlement.
Bitcoin is the only thing that allows final settlement, a native money built on the internet that doesn't have counterparty risk. Just willing parties and honest actors in a network operating autonomously without anyone in between. And he was spitting straight fire at this conference. But of all the things that he said, here's the note that gives me the most hope and gives hopes to new investors that are looking to enter into this world.
Personally, it's been a long journey. I started in 2013, so I'm very happy, of course, to be here. And a bit regretful that I didn't take it more seriously at the beginning. But the one message I would say to everybody else is, it's still early. And Bitcoin is the ultimate hard asset.
It's still early and Bitcoin is the ultimate hard asset. That is the message for you young investors. And I know you're struggling right now. You want to know how I know that you're struggling? Well, this message from Chipotle CEO tells me everything. Chipotle absolutely got hammered after hours after announcing its earnings, and it was down 15% yesterday, saying that the 25 to 35-year-old cohort absolutely has no money to spend. A Chipotle burrito that used to feed a poor college student for a week for just $7 or $8 now is a luxury item. And this is the problem with fiat. All of the gains are stripped from the people coming into the system and given to the people who are the asset holders, or the people that are closest to the money supply that have seen their assets grow over time. Future generations and investors will have no choice but to turn to something like Bitcoin. And here is what Luke Groman is telling to his kids who are in this same financial position.
You know, I've said this, is I think the game of like, hey, buy a house because, you know, buy a house to get rich, I think it's over. I think that's over. Buy a house because, you know, you like it. It's in a good school system. It's a place to raise a family. It's safe. It's whatever. You like the location. But I don't, particularly when we overlay, you know, sort of the demonetization of housing of that Bitcoin is doing, right? Which is younger generation. I've been advocating to my sons. They all own some Bitcoin. Been advocating it for 5 years. Buy some Bitcoin, buy some Bitcoin, buy some Bitcoin. That Coinbase ad that was on TV, it was a 30-second ad during an NBA game back in May, was mind-boggling. Same house that was 1,000 Bitcoin in 2016 was 10 Bitcoin in 2020, and now it's, you know, 2 Bitcoin. And that house is going to 1 Bitcoin in the next 5 years. And 5 years after that, it's going to be half a Bitcoin. And 5 years after that, it's going to be a tenth of a Bitcoin. And that's my base case.
That house ain't going to retire you like it once did. So what are you going to do? Buy overpriced burritos and shake your fist at the man? Or ride with an idea that's bulletproof, whose time has come? Openness, freedom, reward on merit. Wasn't this the American dream that we were all sold in the first place? Seems like there's only one asset that truly offers this promise, not tokenized finance, and that's Bitcoin. Before we go any further in our episode, let's thank our sponsors. Ledn has been the leader in Bitcoin-backed loans since 2018, issuing over $9 billion worth of loans to tens of thousands of customers all across the globe. The process is simple, fast, transparent, and easy. If you want a $1,000 loan in fiat, well, you post $2,000 of collateral in Bitcoin. There's no credit checks, and the fiat gets into your account in less than 6 hours on average. The application takes just 2 minutes. And the cool thing about it is you can see the address where your Bitcoin is actually stored once you post it on the platform, and it doesn't move. It isn't rehypothecated. The application takes just 2 minutes, and you get 0.25% off your first loan by going to learn.ledn.ao/simply. We got you hooked up. And like Ricardo Salinas was saying, the only way that you can remove counterparty risk from Bitcoin or gold or any other asset is by actually removing it from the system. When you have final settlement into your wallet, well, you have to remove that wallet and the keys to that wallet offline in a system that you control. And that is exactly what the coaches at the Bitcoin Way will help you to understand. How do you actually protect your generational wealth the right way? Privately, safely, securely. It's not easy if this is your first time into this. So I advise that you get a coach. Go to the bitcoinway.com/simplybitcoin and they'll tell you all about it. Okay, honestly, this is a great depiction of what Bitcoin has been doing all year. And that's okay. The only true way to 10x to 100x your money is by picking the right thing and picking the right thing that everyone else disagrees with.
And I don't think it's a bad thing, because the only way you're going to make 10 to 100x your money is if you pick the right thing and everybody disagrees with you. No. If everybody agrees with you and you do the right thing, well, everybody agreed you should buy Amazon in the year 2020 during the lockdowns because it was quite obvious that you needed Amazon during the lockdowns. It's the worst investment of the past 5 years because everybody agreed that it was a good investment, and there's a lesson in that.
Mm-hmm. This is that box where you have consensus and right and non-consensus and wrong. You have to be non-consensus and right to generate real alpha and real return. And that still, even today, with Bitcoin at $110,000, is still Bitcoin. So many people don't realize how valuable of an asset that this is, and they truly don't understand what the innovation is that Bitcoin brings and what was brought to the fold October 31st, 2008, all those years ago. Bitcoin wasn't launched with a government. It wasn't launched through an IPO. It wasn't given a price by some other person. It was assigned a market value from the market that thought this thing was valuable. And honestly, that trend of Bitcoin being the right thing from that idea to where it is now will continue. Bitcoin versus other cryptos or other currencies will all trend towards zero. Other currencies and other cryptos relative to Bitcoin will all trend towards zero over time. There's only one asset and there's everything else. Despite the chop solidation in October not going up at all, Bitcoin is still the only asset that you want to own. There is no second best. This is Dante Cook with Bitcoin Simply. And if you haven't already got your tickets down to the Mining Disrupt conference, well, we're like 2 weeks out and we're super excited to meet all of our friends and fans down there at the largest mining expo in the world at Mining Disrupt, Dallas, Texas, November 11th through November 13th. Get 20% off your tickets by using the promo code SimplyBitcoin. This is Dante Cook with Bitcoin Simply. Happy Halloween and happy stacking.